Hi, Paige.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Congratulations. You did call for a women's belt. How soon would you like to see it?
You know what? That is up to Dana and Power Slap, but I truly think that if we're going to be competing in a division, that there needs to be a title to chase.
Yes. And would you like to see that belt pink?
I would love to see it pink. The blue, though, I did the matching blue nails for Power Slap. It would be awesome to have a pink belt for the women. I'm down for that.
And then you did use your right arm this time. How's it feeling? Because you normally use your left.
Yeah, I switched to my right. I thought, I'm right-handed. It should be my power hand. After all the surgeries I've had on it, it should be healed enough. But truly, when I was out there, I actually thought about switching to my left in the middle of the match. I still got the win. Maybe I should have switched and been able to have a little bit more damage. But I think I see myself switching back to my left. I think the impact for myself feels stronger when I'm left-handed.
And then you did say that you were going to the GFL soon, and so you kind of do bounce back and forth. But if you start chasing the title here and you get the title, do you plan on just staying in only Power Slap, or do you still plan on fighting MMA in other leagues?
So I think what people should be able to tell is now that I've been more active in the gym, both chasing MMA dreams and Power Slap dreams, I've been able to drop down to 25. My physique is better than it's absolutely ever been. I know a lot of people criticize or speculate that I'm too busy, but I think just because I can do things and I can accomplish a lot of dreams and other people can't doesn't mean it's a knock on myself. It just means I like to stay busy, I like to stay active, and I like to have dreams to chase. And I'm better and I'm my best self when I have a goal in front of me. And I do believe that MMA and Power Slap are conducive to each other. You're seeing a lot of these people who have MMA backgrounds, like the title tonight has MMA experience, boxing experience. You're going to see a lot of those athletes pull ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Paige, from right here. When I spoke to you in Abu Dhabi, you were excited to go out there, and I know you didn't get the loss. It was like a draw. Did it play a factor in, you didn't have to travel far here for Las Vegas as opposed to going all the way across the world to compete in Power Slap, and, you're 2-0 here in Las Vegas? No.
Honestly, I love traveling. The experience in Abu Dhabi was absolutely amazing. I think the issue with trial and error is people forget there is error, and me going into Power Slap, it was my second match ever. I did foul on one of the shots, although the rest of mine were flawless and incredible, and I won the 2 of the rounds. With Power Slap, unfortunately, when you foul once, it's a 10-8 round, so it went to a draw. So trial and error, but here you got to see that I corrected absolutely every single one of my mistakes. There is a lot of room for correction, though, so next time I'm going to make sure I'm a little bit closer. I was trying not to do the clubbing by just my distance, and it's unfortunately with Power Slap, it's a game of centimeters, so you really have a lot to do in a short amount of time.
Obviously, we knew you as a UFC fighter for so long, and then BKFC. I'm curious, nowadays in 2025, when fans come up to you, is it still Paige, the MMA fighter, or are they starting to be like Paige, the BKFC Power Slap? What do they actually know you from?
I think it's Paige the OnlyFans chick. Honestly, no. I would say UFC fighter. I truly believe one of the greatest accomplishments that I've ever had in my entire life and will ever hold is being in the UFC. Being a part of the UFC and making that walk is special. And when my husband made his walk, a week and a half ago, I was just so excited for him. Of course, I wanted him to win and I wanted the success, but I wanted him to have that moment of walking out to a UFC fight, and I'd start crying as he's walking out because I know what a big deal that is.
Just kind of go off of that. I think since you were in BKFC, every scrum is, when is Austin going to the UFC?
Yes.
Not even to him, to you. And then when we spoke in Abu Dhabi, you guys thought maybe he can be on the Tampa card, then the LA card, but now he's in the UFC. So are you happy that you no longer have to answer when is Austin going to go to the UFC?
Yes, it was unfortunate. Throughout the majority of career, it was okay, when is Austin going to be in the UFC? Ever since he won on the Contender Series, he got a finish, and people were pretty surprised that he wasn't given the opportunity. But we've spoken, and we are, we're people of faith, and we believe it's all in God's timing. And now, if he would have gone to the UFC straight off the Contender Series at 6 or 7-0, things could have been different. But now we look at the division, and there's not a single person that I don't think he can truly challenge in his division. So I'm excited. I think he's going to stay extremely active, and I think he's a real threat to his to the UFC.
And then just last one for me, after all the bare knuckle boxing, power slap, obviously you said you're going to concentrate a little bit on MMA now. Does it feel good to be able to kick people again?
Oh my gosh, it feels amazing. I have missed MMA. A lot of people, of course, were shocked when I went into bare knuckle boxing, but people didn't realize I shattered my forearm and I had 4 breaks, I think 3 surgeries, and they told me like, hey, you need to take some serious time off to let it heal. And I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll go bare knuckle box while my arm heals. And now I get to be back at like what I love to do. And yeah, it feels really good to kick people again.
Hey, Paige, over here. Going back to Austin, just this, within 2 weeks, he makes his UFC debut. You're picking up a victory. I mean, I have to imagine there's fewer weeks professionally that have been more special for you guys as a family. Can you just talk about the emotions and conversations you guys have had during this little run right now?
Oh my gosh, my husband and I, we deserve a drink more than ever. It has been a chaotic last 2 weeks. For him to get the call on 4 days notice, prior, I think it was just a day or two prior to that I signed my power slap contract. So it was like, holy cow, here we go. And the ups and downs of his opponents being in and being out. And of course, he made the walk, and it was special. And this was amazing. I love power slap, but I truly am so happy for him. And his success and his walk to the UFC means so much more to me than this moment.
How is the hunt for the Paige VanZant 1-of-1 going?
Oh, it's going amazing. So far, we have collected 2 1-of-1s. I'm excited for my husband to be in, to get his rookie cards once they're out. But yeah, we're still hunting for a few more. We need the gold-plated, right? The gold vinyl 1-of-1. That's the one we're still hunting for.
I know things are still being figured out, but do you get the impression that you will have your GFL fight before they possibly talk to you about another match for power slap?
I predict having another power slap. I'm asking my manager. I kind of think that we'll do power slap again first. I mean, it all depends on, I don't know when the next power slap match is. So they're the boss of all that. I just listen to what they say.
Bit of a naive question. Do you train for both of them concurrently, or is it something like you kind of have to focus on, just arms to win power slap?
No, absolutely concurrently. And I'm at such an amazing gym, American Top Team. I had King Mo out here in my locker room. Like, he's so pumped and supportive of me, and he's been studying all the fighters. He's going to continue to train me and prepare me for the next power slap. I am at such a strong gym that whatever I put my mind to, they're going to make sure that I'm prepared and ready for. And like I said, training for MMA and training for power slap at the same time, they go hand in hand. There is only so much you can do to truly, truly be ready for power slap. And like the champ said tonight, like, you got to have a good chin, and not a lot of people do. Like, a lot of people can have knockout power, but if you don't have a good chin, you're not going to last here. And I know I have a very good chin.
Paige up front. Obviously, like with the women's division and like power slap being so new, when it comes to the opponents that they put in front of you, like, what do you get more excited for? Do you look for somebody that would have like an extensive MMA background, or like maybe a girl that was in bare knuckle before, like, or do you just go in and be like, hey, I'm going to fight this person, I'm not even going to look into the background?
Absolutely no preference on my opponents for power slap. When they ask me, or my manager will call me like, hey, do you want to do power slap in Vegas? I say yes. They send me a contract, I sign it, and then I research my opponent later. It's not for me to say yes or no to. Power slap, they tell me who they want me against. If I want to be here and I want to belong here, I can't pick my opponents, and I can't say who I want to and cherry pick. I need to take on every single person they put in front of me to earn it and to deserve a title shot.
Fair enough. I was going through the comments tonight. There was a girl.
Fun.
There was a girl. I think Nicole Schaefer was her name. I think she competed against Ty Emery last in power slap.
Okay.
She says, great match, but Paige finally needs her first loss at this power slap. I'm ready for it. So you got at least one calling you out right now.
You know what? I don't read my comments. The comment section is very dangerous. Stay out of it. The UFC or power slap, they will tell me who my next opponent is, and that's exactly what I'll do. They'll ask me if I'm available for a date. I'll say yes, and I'll sign the contract.
You talked about an MMA fight coming up. What are your goals in the sport of MMA? It's obviously with the GFL. Is the ultimate goal eventually to get back to the UFC, or are you just kind of taking it one fight at a time right now? I mean, if I'm completely honest and transparent,
was to a point where I was happy with my career and I was happy with my success in my life and everything I've accomplished. Of course, I wanted to continue to chase dreams, but making the walk with my husband again, I was like, damn, like I really miss this. And I realized how special it is. And maybe when I was in the UFC, I signed when I was 19 years old. I made my first UFC debut at 20. I didn't realize what a big deal it was back then. I didn't realize how special it was. And now seeing that process and leaving, like maybe I took it for granted. And I know it would take a lot of work for me and a lot of dedication for me to earn my shot back into the UFC. But I definitely, my heart misses it. So we'll see. But right now I am truly happy and honored to be a part of Power Slap. And that's something I'm going to pursue for a long time.
Congrats. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Paige. First of all, congrats on the win. So you mentioned that you like kicking people.
Yes.
At your very first Power Slap press conference, you mentioned that that's the reason why you like to try all the combat sports, MMA, boxing, Power Slap. So the question is, can we see you in ice hockey one day?
In ice hockey? I won't say no to that. I mean, I'm a terrible ice skater, but we'll see. I was saying the only sport that I will never, ever, ever do is that leg kick one, the leg kick championship. Yeah, where they just straight up leg kick each other over and over again. I will never do that. Everything else is fair game for me to try.
One last one.
Obviously, Austin just had a big fight in the UFC. So how does the dynamic of preparation differ when Austin has his mind on an MMA bout and you have your mind on a slap match? There are times where like Austin's holding a pad for you to slap, or how does that dynamic differ?
It's perfect. Honestly, I love when we're both competing, like, somewhat close to each other. He fought in LFA. I fought in Power Slap a week later. Then he fought for the UFC. I fought in this 2 weeks later. It just works great because we're both in total fight camp mode. And although, yes, we go to the gym together, at the same time, we do not train together. We have separate coaches, mostly separate programs because we're completely different people. But yes, he makes sure I have everything that I absolutely need. Every now and then I'll pop up off the couch and be like, hey, let me line up my slap on your face. And we work well together. And I think people will be able to see that a strong couple that competes at the same time, and of course, same sports, different sports. It just works.
Going off that last question, obviously you said no to leg kick championship, but UFC, BKFC, Power Slap, that's a unique trajectory amongst athletes. So are there any like disciplines that you do want to have try out one day, or is it just kind of anything goes? That
You know what? I never thought I would do Power Slap, and then my managers called me and were like, hey, would you ever do Power Slap? I was like, yeah, let's do it. Might as well. So I don't say no to anything other than the leg kick thing. I'm not going to do that. Thank you.